Accenture is now the worst performer today on the S&P 500, falling despite a beat on the top and bottom line. New bookings dropping 6% in the U.S. currency in its fiscal third quarter. The company last quarter warned that DOGE's crackdown on federal spending would lead to delays and cancellations of new contracts. Let's talk about all of that right now with Accenture CEO Julie Sweet. Julie, thank you for taking the time. I also want to get to some of the new business changes that you announced today, but what do you think is the problem? The bookings? Is that what the market seems to be focused on? The fact that they were lower from last year?
Thanks for having me, Sarah. Yes, look, our bookings were really strong in the quarter when you think about nearly $20 billion. And it's a tough compare because last Q3, we had a 26% increase. And so we're really pleased with our bookings. We had 30 clients with over $100 million in the quarter. And then when you look at the quarter, right, demand is demonstrated in our revenue, right? We beat the top end of our guidance. We've raised guidance on revenue, EPS, and free cash flow. So a super strong quarter. And we're going to continue to demonstrate that Accenture is able to pivot in a tough market. I mean, our Gen AI bookings this quarter were, again, $1.5 billion.
Right. So what is driving that? And also, how should investors think about some of the changes that you're implementing, combining strategy, consulting, technology, and operation services into a single unit, it sounds like?
Right. So the bookings are being driven by the fact that we're really starting to see clients scale and embed Gen AI in almost everything we do. And so, shipbuilding, Fincantieri, we're helping them with their connected ships. So imagine a ship that is able to predict its maintenance, manage its energy use on its own, and talk to the dock before it goes there. Cheese, something we all love, Bell, which makes the beloved laughing cow. We're using AI and modernization to help them revamp their manufacturing processes and supply chain in order to make sure we all can buy Baby Bell. And so you can really see the use of Gen AI at scale across industries and really every part of the enterprise. So that's what's driving it. And when you think about what's driving our bookings and our business, last year I was on this program talking about how we have pivoted to accelerate reinvention services. That's what clients need. That's what's driving the bookings, the 30 clients, who have $100 million of bookings or more. And what makes us unique is that we bring them solutions, right, with using all of these capabilities. No one in our industry has at scale all of the different things: strategy, operations, technology, song, consulting. And what we're going to do now is make it even easier to bring those solutions, embed data and AI, so that we can be really scale across our client base and into new markets using our reinvention services. We're super excited. And, not for nothing, but when I became the CEO, we put in our growth model then to take advantage of the moment we saw in the market, and we've had a 10% CAGR. We have a great track record of knowing where the market's going and then being agile and moving fast to put in the right way to operate, organize, and work together to capture the opportunity. And that's how we see this latest growth model change.
Julie, you mentioned the company's ability to perform in a tough market. What specifically is making it a tough market environment right now? Is it just kind of the CEO confidence shock that we got, or just the uncertainty around policy?
Well, as I shared actually last quarter, we saw this real elevation when we came into the year from everything from the tariffs, right? The macro economics, we saw things tick down. And then, of course, we have, the latest new conflict in the Middle East, right? All of these things. And what we're seeing is that it's not just one, right? In industries and boardrooms around the world, they're facing the challenges of economic uncertainty, geopolitical complexity, as well as major changes in customer behavior, which is why AI is such an opportunity, because there's a new tool, right? Gen AI in particular, is a new way of meeting challenges and creating new types of results. But what drives our growth is that AI is only a tool. You can't use it to get value unless you understand how companies operate, what processes need to change, how do you do change management, and then you're willing to be disruptive. And that's what our clients are. It is so exciting to see how our clients are embracing reinvention. They want to reshape industries. And right now, CEOs, I'm talking to them every day, they want resilience, but they also want results. And that's why they come to Accenture.
Yeah, I think it was earlier in the week, we got this new survey on CEO confidence from the Business Roundtable. It's a 5-year low. And that's coming after we got the delay in those reciprocal tariffs. Julie, I just wonder whether or not you think that's going to manifest itself in sort of structural changes in hiring habits or more cyclical things like CapEx and bookings.
You know, I think what you see is that in the short term, right, everyone's managing their budget, they're managing to the environment. But unlike, say, 3 months ago when you heard a lot about, companies pausing, that's not what I'm hearing. I was just with a CEO yesterday who is like, we need to be full speed ahead on transforming so that no matter what the environment, we're the one leading in the environment, in the industry. And so what I hear most from CEOs now are focus and leapfrog, because they want to make sure that they're not doing the things that are not going to really move the needle. And that's why we are driving so much reinvention. That's why we've pivoted our business to focus on that demand. And they want to know, how can we make sure that we're the first to use AI, Gen AI, to really set a new standard in the industry? And that's what's driving our growth.